Ohio State fans, there you have it. The wait is over. You have got yourself your offensive coordinator. Didn't have to look too far. Wide receivers coach Brian Hartline will have the title per our own Pete Nakos here at On3. Unclear as of right now, and this just broke a few moments ago, so hang with us. Unclear as of right now if he's going to be the play caller, but you got that title. I love everything about it. I think this was the right move. Talk about the impact here and why we love it as we break this whole thing down. But if you're a college football fan, if you're an Ohio State Buckeye fan, if you just love this sport with every fiber of your being like we do here on this platform, make sure you're subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel. Appreciate y'all in advance for that. So here's the biggest reason why I love this for Brian Hartline. Dog, he earned it. He earned this job. And again, we'll talk about the play calling stuff as that becomes more and more clear. But he is an ace recruiter, one of the best recruiters in America. He is an ace developer. Multiple dudes at his position now making a lot of money in the league. And by nature of what Jeremiah Smith did this past season, what Emeka Egbuka has done throughout his career, that funnel is not going anywhere anytime soon, the pipeline, if you will. When people are good at their job, you give them more to do. You give them a good title, probably a nice little bump in pay, and you make sure they're taken care of. Brian Hartline has aspirations, from what I can tell, to eventually be a head coach. He's been open about wanting to eventually be an NFL level coach as well. He was never going to be a wide receiver coach forever. You had to make sure that you took care of him with the job that he was doing in Columbus. Now, I'm not saying that you had to make this move to keep Brian Hartline happy. That's not what I'm telling you. What I am telling you is, he earned this. Based on merit, based on his accomplishments, this is the logical next step for him and for Ohio State. The thing that I love about this, though, in addition to the merit that it presents here for a Brian Hartline and for Ohio State, is the fact that you now, I think, have the most seamless transition when it comes to where you want to keep your temperature of your football team. And what I mean by that is national title teams got a certain vibe to them. Walk a certain way, practice a certain way, meet a certain way, prep a certain way. There's a certain standard that's kept internally across all teams that win at the highest level. And if you brought in an outsider to run your offense at Ohio State or to be in charge of your offense at Ohio State, I'm not telling you it wouldn't have worked, but I do think you maybe have an acclimation period where the players are adjusting to that coach and his style and his scheme and whatever. There's a big acclimation period that takes place. You could have been successful, but I tell you what, everyone in that locker room, everyone in that building in Columbus, they know what Brian Hartline's about. There's no questioning what he is, no questioning what he brings to the table here. I think that the players, just my feel on this is they will respond very well to this. I think they're probably fired up for Brian Hartline. And I think in general, he already has that credibility with this group. It's nothing for Brian Hartline to demand more of the guys during winter conditioning or spring practice, and no one's going to look at him funny. They know what he's about. He's been through all of it with them. I mean, since 2017, he's been at Ohio State. He's about that life. And even before then, having been at Ohio State as a player. That's the other part that I think is maybe worth mentioning here. Brian Hartline's not going to fold under the pressure that is this job at Ohio State. Like Ohio State, how often do we talk about what their expectations are, what their standards are? It is win the Big Ten. It is beat Michigan. It is win a national championship. If those things don't fall perfectly into place for Brian Hartline, he's not going to have some, shocked look on his face. He's not going to have this wild, whoa, what is going on here? I thought we were doing pretty well winning 10 football games. No, he knows what it is. He knows what it's about. And it's one thing to say you know what it is when you get to Ohio State, to say that you're understanding of what's expected, but to actually have gone through it as a player and now as a coach, Brian Hartline's not adjusting to anything. He's, again, a perfect fit from that perspective. I also really like the fact that when you look at next year for Ohio State and just in college football, the best player in America is Jeremiah Smith. You make a case he was one of the best players a season ago. Some people might say the best player. I know there was Travis Hunter, Ashton Jeanty, different discussion. The person in charge of your offense now at Ohio State and Brian Hartline is the person that is also most familiar with Jeremiah Smith, who is, again, the best player in college football. I don't think that maybe that's going to help Jeremiah Smith maybe be prioritized in the offense a little bit more than he probably already would have been. I don't think it hurts. Again, he's probably going to see a fair amount of the football regardless of who's calling plays because everyone has eyeballs and sees what that dude is as a football player. But I think it's probably a good thing in general that he's the guy now in charge of the offense. The pushback from folks that don't like this move will be, well, are we sure about his offensive acumen? JD, I don't know if he's really the X's and O's guy. And I don't know what we're going to get from Brian Hartline, to be honest with you. I don't know if he's going to be the play caller. Again, this is breaking as we're talking about it on the air. But I would be encouraged if I'm an Ohio State fan knowing that there's still some oversight from Ryan Day, who's also has experience clearly in calling plays at Ohio State. So I don't know if Ryan Day is your play caller. I don't know if it's Brian Hartline, but it's not going to be a thing where you just throw Brian Hartline into the deep end and say, hey, man, do your best. Do your best. We're all rooting for you. No. Ryan Day is going to be involved, I have to imagine. I think a lot of other members of the staff will be involved. And I also think having been around Chip Kelly for a year, you'll probably pick up a thing or two, would just be my guess. Across the longest college football season in the history of the sport, probably, yeah, you pick up a footnote or two. So there's not a better time for this to happen. Who's going to be the guy they're going to go grab here before spring practice that's going to be, again, a better transition, a better fit overall for Ohio State? I couldn't tell you. He was our pick from the jump. He's earned this, and I think he's going to be great if I had to guess as of today. So Brian Hartline, getting choked up talking about it. Brian Hartline, the offensive coordinator at Ohio State, per our own Pete Nakos here. Let me know what you think of the move in the comment section. Let us know. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time.